on Monday, July 14th. Let's call to order the City of Denison Convention and Visitors Bureau meeting. Are there any public comments? Looks like there are none. So let's move on to items for individual consideration. Let's receive a report, hold discussion, and take action on approving the minutes of the CVB Advisory Board meeting on June 2nd, 2025.
Do I make a motion to approve the minutes?
Yes. Do we have a motion?
Yes, we have a motion to approve the minutes.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The meeting minutes are approved. Let's receive a report, hold discussion, take action on the Denison CVB Tourism Grant 2025 Cycle 2 submissions. Or submission by Grayson County Frontier Village and Museum. You will find that on page 11 of your packet.
Just for y'all's information, this was the application that we voted to table until today, hoping we would get a post-project report from Frontier Village before we voted to approve more funding, and we have not yet received that post-project report. So staff's recommendation was to just go ahead and table it until the next meeting to give them some more time to produce that. That's just for some background.
But they've agreed to provide it?
Yes, they have agreed to provide a post-project report.
Gotcha.
Perfect, so we need a motion to table? Okay, I make a motion to table. I'll second it.
All approve?
Aye.
All opposed? It is approved that we will table this until the next meeting. Now if we move on to item 3C, we'll hold discussion, take action on improving the updated Denison CVB Tourism Grant application, including any revisions to program guidelines or eligibility criteria.
Good afternoon, Commissioner and Board. Did y'all have an opportunity to look at both of the applications this weekend?
Yes. And if y'all undo the paperclip on your packets, you'll notice that these are two stapled together, two separate, one that's thin, and then this one, the new one.
One is very thick. So the previous packet has, it has good information, but after going to tourism college, we had a presentation on hot funds and the grant applications, and so I decided to put in a little bit more work into ours, just requiring a little bit more detail. So basically, I just really want to know more on their plans for how is this actually going to promote tourism, benefit tourism, so heads and beds, you know, just really making sure that anyone that we provide the grant to is going to be accountable and getting those numbers for who is staying in Denison in hotels or short-term rentals, and just really like making sure that when we invest in whatever project or event that this is going to be, that the return of investment is going to be higher. So I ask questions on basically, have we provided grants to them in the past? Where have they had like their previous events? If they haven't done it in Denison, or are they choosing to do it in Denison? I want them to give us the amount of what they think the hotel occupancy tax is projected to generate, because then that could help us with with determining on what would be a good amount to provide in the grant. Typically, it seems like we've just had a standard of giving organizations $5,000, but we could reduce or increase that with the funds available that we have in the hot tax revenue that we get. So I just kind of really wanted them to do a little bit more work if we're going to provide this grant to them. So I want them to basically put in all of their expenses as well. So I've asked more questions for that. And then I've also asked them to provide more marketing information, what their spectator participant attendance is going to look like. Let's see, what hotels are they going to use? So which ones are they reaching out to for group bookings? How many hotel rooms have they booked at this point before they ask us for the grant? How many are they looking to reach out to? What is the tourism impact going to be here? Is it going to actually be a local event where that's like the mass majority of their participants, or are they going to actually draw in a lot of people that spend the night? And then after that, I have created the post-event reports. I know previously we had a wrap-up report, but that was about 1 page. So I have included in the post-event or even the post-project reports of what did this actually do for tourism. So you're going to give us your actual expenses, your actual revenue of what this event generated for us, how many people actually stayed in hotels or Airbnbs, just information like that so that we can use that going forward in determining on whether we do want to offer them a grant in the future, or if they actually came in way under what they had anticipated that they were going to, then we can say, hey, like you said you're going to do this last time, but you didn't, so we don't feel comfortable giving you this amount, or we can give you less, things like that. And then that helps us have a little bit more, I guess, accountability in providing the grants and really like making sure that we have our backings whenever we do this. And, you know, if someone ever wants to request, what are they called? Like a written, like a information thing?
Like an open records
Yeah,
request.
open records, that we have that information to provide of why we did or didn't make the decision to go forward. But those are my thoughts on why I have created this new application and report. So I'm open to any feedback that you have. If you noticed anything I need to change, or if you have any questions for me on what edits can be made, please let me know.
I have a question.
Yes.
So this wouldn't allow us to change the grant amount after the event. Like you said, they brought in a whole lot less than what they said, but it would just be for future, if they
Yes.
asked for it again, we'd adjust it.
Yes.
Okay. Yep.
And if you notice, it's segregated now. Instead of just one application, now there's a historic preservation, a convention, and an event application as well. So I've browsed through this last week. There's nothing I would add or take away. I think it looks great. Phenomenal job. It helps with the due diligence on the front side on the event, asking for a little more information, but then for our records and just saying, hey, was it a success? Should we give you another grant cycle or at that amount? Because did it put beds in heads or not? So phenomenal job.
Thank you.
One thing I wanted to mention that you guys had asked last time was, is anywhere there written a requirement for event applicants to also put up an amount of funding, or is it okay for us to fund an entire event? I know we had that discussion, and I think it's up to y'all's discretion. There's nothing written specifically that states they must put in a specific amount of money for us to be able to fund them. So really, It's a case-by-case basis. Now, Jordan will know more about the state rules and regulations, but we did talk about that, where there's nothing written in here that says we
No, it's-
can't fund your whole event kind of thing. But
It's not, it's not written in there as a guideline, but there is a question that asks, if this request for funding is denied, will the event program continue?
Right.
And that kind of gives us a good idea if they are or not, and what the plans are, so.
yes, for sure.
I think it looks great.
Thank you.
Do we have a motion for approval?
A motion to
Second?
approve, yep.
All in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? The ayes have it, and the new applications and forms are approved. All right, let's go on to director reports, and first up is tourism.
Perfect. Okay, so for my tourism report, I wanted to let y'all know that I am in the process of obtaining our tourism-friendly designation with the state of Texas. This is through their Travel Texas program within the governor's office. So this recognizes local governments and nonprofit organizations that lead the tourism efforts in their community. And so through the program, once we complete it, we will be listed as a tourism-friendly city on the Travel Texas website. So that's what people that are coming from other states or, other countries are looking at whenever they decide that they want to have tourism opportunities in Texas. So we will be listed as one of those communities. So right now I'm working on the self-assessment questionnaire part of the form or of the application. And then once I finish that, we have to obtain 3 letters of recommendation from either hotel providers, elected officials, or attraction providers to recommend us as a tourism-friendly community and that they support our decision to move forward with this designation. And then we get to have a proclamation with the mayor and the city council, so that'll be really exciting. And then once we finish that, we will be deemed a Texas tourism-friendly community. And like I said, we'll be on their website. We will get to utilize all of their trainings and opportunities and resources through the governor's office, which will be really cool. And it's also been very beneficial so far, just in the beginning stages of this process. So I'm very excited to continue with that. And then I'm also working on a digital media friendly certification. So right now we have film friendly and we have music friendly in Denison. So this last one, digital media, is part of the film commission or the film designation. And so this just means that we provide like different opportunities for people that want to utilize digital means of tourism. So, the library has computers, or we have movie nights, like things like that. So once we obtain that one, we will be one of the very few cities in Texas that actually has all of the friendly designations, which is going to be really cool because right now there's like 4 or 5. So we will be on that list as one of the first. We are also hosting a business owner meet and greet with downtown businesses so that we can better explain the purpose of the CVB and the Visitor Center and what it is going to do for the community of Denison. So that will be July 28th from 8 to 5. If you want to join us for that, we'd be really excited to have you there. Let's see. Our sister cities kids just finished their first week in Cognac, and they're having a lot of fun. So what they've done so far is attend a city hall reception with the mayor. They rode in vintage cars during the Bastille. Is it Bastille?
Bastille Day.
Bastille Day Parade. They had a special visit to the French Air Force Base. They've explored a medieval castle and tasted their local vinegar. And then they got to go to an outdoor theater performance and see midnight fireworks. So this week they'll finish up in Cognac and then they'll head to Paris before we get them back in Denison. So they're having a blast, just in case y'all wanted to know. And then again, I just wanted to let y'all know that I recently went to tourism college and I learned my job a little bit more. So different things that I'm implementing based on that is I really want us to become a group sales destination, especially with the future of Margaritaville and just attracting businesses, organizations, different opportunities for people and groups to come to Denison. So we are working on that process right now. So that would be helping different businesses and organizations plan events, conventions, expos here in Denison. We're going to start offering tourism services and booking different experiences for those people that are holding events here. So if someone wants to have like a business meeting, we can help make reservations for their group to go to dinner or go do some axe throwing and team building, like different things like that. So we're working on that process as well. And then updating our grant applications, learning hot tags, all of that fun stuff. And then for my last thing, we will have a hot tags training session on August 18th from 2 to 4. I really hope that y'all can make it because we will have a lawyer with the Texas Hotel and Lodging Association. That'll come and they'll train us on the do's and don'ts of hot tags, like how we can best use the funds, making sure that we're using the funds according to the state law, and then how we can best assist those that we provide grants to or work with our providers. And then it'll also give us the opportunity to ask questions and unmuddy any waters that we need some assistance with. And then going off of that, they are going to start assisting us with creating a bill for the 7th category and criteria 2 for hot funds, which uses to fund the enhancement or upgrading of existing sports facilities or sports fields for certain municipalities. So if we ever wanted to make upgrades to ball fields in Denison to enhance our reputation as a tourism destination, or even meet the qualifications of hosting like a College World Series softball tournament for JUCO, we need the money to be able to make the facilities at that tier that they need for us to be able to host those. So we're not there yet, but hopefully they'll guide us in education of how we can create a bill to get there. So you actually have to have a bill that goes to legislation to be one of the listed communities that is able to make those upgrades. So they're going to help us with that, and it would be in the next legislative session, which would be 2027. But those are all of my updates.
Jordan, can I ask a couple of questions?
Yes.
Do I need to press anything? Okay. I think your mic is on. Okay. 2 questions. The hot tax training, what date is that?
It is a Monday on August 18th from 2 to 4.
From 2 to 4. I had received that and replied positive to attend it, but I didn't get it on my calendar, so I wanted to make sure.
Okay, I'll check.
Okay. The other question I have is, with the new visitor center, are you seeing a lot of traffic coming in?
So far, we have a decent amount of traffic, obviously not as much as what we would like. It seems to be a lot of locals that are curious about it, and they've heard about the visitor center and they're checking it out as they walk down Main Street. We have had a pretty good number of visitors, a lot from Houston, DFW areas. Obviously, we would want a lot more, but I think that maybe the construction and honestly, like maybe even the status of the lake and having, a really late recreation season at the lake has kind of hindered our participation and people coming to Denison. But we keep promoting it, so hopefully that helps.
It's really beautiful.
Yes. Thank you for saying that. We like it.
I've sent a couple of people, but I just wanted to see if you'd had a lot of traffic and what's going on.
We had a decent amount. Any other questions?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
on to the Main Street report.
Thank you. So we have Music on Main that's been going on, and that we have 2 more weeks left, and that's been going very well. Our crowds have been up and been more even across the board instead of big swings. And so it's been a really good season, and we look forward to next year hopefully being able to be back over at Heritage Park. Construction should be done in June. We start in June. I feel like the park will be done just prior to that. So we'll plan on it, but it's not for sure yet. And it'll also be the 25th year of Music on Main. So that's a big deal. And, you know, it was just started by some downtown business owners that were just trying to create traffic and activity, and you know, it's grown to what it is today, so we're proud of that. Thursday night we are doing a visioning and mission statement workshop. We've done a survey and got everybody's answers in survey form. Questions like, what does downtown make you feel? What's special about downtown? Where do you want to see it go? Kind of, you know, mostly 1 or 2 words, maybe a phrase. There have been some sentences, and so we'll wade through those and then try to formulate a new mission and vision statement and have some public interaction. We want the people that are using downtown, that are residents, that are business owners, and you know, stakeholders like our council and city management. We want their input as well. Of course, everybody was invited to do the survey. We had just over 100 survey results, and so our previous mission statement, we accomplished it by getting the Great American Main Street Award. So we need, you know, a new goal to strive for, and I think a lot of the what we had in our mission statement is still relevant, but since we accomplished that, we just thought we would, you know, revamp it. And so we're going to do that Thursday night, and then we've got a timeline in place to have it approved by council, hopefully in September, so we can begin the new fiscal year with that. And then on August 19th, we will have our Good Morning Downtown event in this room. So around the outer edges of the room, we'll have tables set up with people like Denison Animal Welfare Group, the police department, Parks and Rec will be there to talk about the potential for a new dog park. So we've got a lot of guests that will be here, and we did it for the first time last year, and I was pleased with the turnout. It was still smaller than we normally get, but I was really pleased with it at the interaction, and the people that came really appreciated the information that they were able to gain. For instance, if we had let's say a shoplifting problem, then the police department was here for them to talk to the police about what they could do to combat that. We'll also have our D3 designer here and the public works, so we can ask any questions there. The format, it'll be 8 a.m. in the morning, and we'll have, it's on August 19th if I said that, we'll have 30 minutes for just, interaction, and then 30 minutes, if that is needed, for the people like Denison Animal Welfare Group and the police to give kind of an overview of what they're there for, what information they have, and then we'll have 30 more minutes of mingling. And so it's designed just for the stakeholders downtown to give them more information and hands-on ability to interact with the people that have the answers. So that's all I have.
All right. Did you get any ridiculous answers on your survey?
I haven't read through them yet.
Okay.
Did you put some in there?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Just check and see if
Thank
read
you
it.
for that.
All right. Next up, Director Report for the Chamber of Commerce, and Diane Thial is not here today, so I'll give a quick update as their board chair. The Chamber is working on the new teacher luncheon as well as the all-staff breakfast for the DISD. Those will be coming up in early August. Third quarter luncheon, we have the CEO or the president of the Texas Chamber of Commerce will be the speaker there. And then we have for the coffee and chat, we got a good speaker there, but he was in the White House for 9/11, and we'll be talking about that and overcoming adversity and such. And then, of course, gearing up for Fall Fest. Do we have a report for Downtown Denison, Inc.?
Sure, not much has changed. We just went over all of the events that are coming up for the rest of the year.
What events are coming up?
We have, that's a great question. I should have come better prepared. For sure, we have all of the pub crawls, which I think is primarily the zombie crawl, is the big one we have left for the year. Thanks, you're the best. Perfect. Okay, oh yes, the Harvest Sweets and Styles, like that. So incorporating the boutiques as well. September 13th, October 25th is the zombie crawl and the boutique sale during the day for the other businesses as well. Loft Tours is December 6th, and then Small Town Christmas is December 13th.
All right. No latte crawls in the future?
No, but I mean,
It could be
we'll
a
have
thing.
the coffee, I like that. A latte crawl would be fun, but we will have Coffee Fest next year again.
All right. Lake Texoma Association.
Well, I'll say I'm very glad the water has receded. It's been a terrible summer, or start to the summer, but finally our, summer season has gotten started for our marinas. 4th of July was busy. We had our fireworks out in the Kingston area. Highport had theirs. Lighthouse Marina. There was another one, Buncombe Creek. Like, they were literally all over the lake on the 5th. So that was a busy time for the lake, thank goodness. I'm hoping it will be extended a little bit since it got such a late start, and they'll extend into the fall some, and people will still come out and travel and, and so forth. I was literally thinking that it was probably slow foot traffic for y'all because of the lake when you said that. As far as the LTA, we have our annual fundraiser coming up on August 2nd. That is the Bash for Cash. The theme this year is Neon Rodeo. It's a lake crowd, had to do something fun, Western. So that's what we're doing. Still have tickets and tables for that if anyone's interested. We have a golf tournament. I believe it's Thursday, September 25th. I believe it's the 25th. It's that Thursday, whatever that Thursday is. And then the LTA, a lot of people maybe don't realize that we have been around 70 years. We celebrated our 70th year in December last year. So we felt like our next step was to start a foundation. So we are starting I think it's the Conservation and Safety Foundation of Lake Texoma is how it's going to be said and worded. I'm working on the bylaws and the articles of incorporation now. That will allow us, because we're a 501c6 right now, so that will allow us having that foundation to apply for grants and things like that, that will then, you know, give us room to maybe give other grants for activities to come to the lake, or, you know, whatever it may be. It just kind of opens up a whole new thing for us. One of the initial things we want to do, in which the flood kind of sidetracked us on that for now, but we want to do a kind of, I know it sounds odd, but have you ever seen the Rake the Lake program out on the islands, that we all get together and clean the islands up a couple times a year? So we want to put trash cans out on the islands, and we will partner with Fast Track. They'll come out and get them and dump them and things like that, but they'll be highly visible, they'll be painted, they'll be sponsored, you know, all those things. So that's one of the things we want to do as far as kind of the, you know, keep Lake Texoma clean and, you know, all that kind of stuff on the kind of conservation side of it. So that's kind of what we have going right now. I do have my new books in. I've been slow getting them out. If you need a box or 500, I will bring them to you, because I have many, many. So let me know, and it may be in the next couple weeks I can get down here and get some delivered, but with the bash coming up, that's kind of hijacking most of my time right now, but just let me know and I'll get them to y'all. Yes, I'll get them to you. That's all I have.
All right. Eisenhower birthplace, we don't have a rep. Parks and Rec. Air Force Base.
We do.
Repairing.
Had a request, I believe from Jordan, that to start collecting information, better information on hotel traffic, or if they're staying out at the lake or whatever it might be. We have adjusted all of our forms, and as of our board meeting this week, we were able to track a lot of our traffic. We do track numbers that we report both state and federally. But what we were able to find is this last month, seeing if our advertising is paying off. Our target is 200 visitors a month. That keeps us afloat, because we are by donation only. This month we had 311, and over 50% of those were from out of town, out of state. We started asking, how have you heard about us? And I have to tell you, the Denison advertising and websites, videos are getting a lot of traffic, especially from out of state. The one thing that we found this month is that over 25% of our visitors are from Denison and Sherman and never knew we existed. And we're talking about people in 40 to 70 years range, and didn't know that we've been here. And the museum's been here 21 years. So the advertising works. Hence, we might be coming for a grant. Because we have been able to provide funding for the last 3 quarters to advertise on the local television stations, and it's paying off. So I felt confident that we might come ask for some more money. Okay. We're working with Eisenhower, getting ready for the birthday. We're also working with them on the History Day in September. We are doing a couple of veterans events. September 13th, we're doing a blood drive to support veterans in Texoma. And then we're doing November 11th, donuts and coffee for veterans. So just a few focus points for us.
Thank you for that update.
You're welcome.
Is there any old or new business we need to attend to? That is it. All right, so at 2:39, let's adjourn the CVB meeting.